Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to discuss one of the most important thing in Marvel Future Fight, that is as of now all defense down, which can be applied on World Boss Ultimate. Yes. See, we all know that there are certain strikers or certain characters which can apply all defense down to the world boss to increase the damage which you deal on the world boss. However, there is an optimal way to do this. Well, previously people used to rely on Weapon Hex and then other striker like Negasonic, Teenage Mutant, or even Deadpool to apply the all defense down while we were doing World Boss Ultimate. Well, see, basically to understand what I'm going to say today, we need to understand how the concept of all defense down. Now, if we go ahead and check out the skill which Weapon Hex applies when she is a striker in World Boss Ultimate, it is her fourth skill. Okay, so as you can see, every time she hits the boss, okay, with her fourth skill, it applies 2% of all defense down, and which stacks up to 100%. So what does this 100% and 2% means? Basically, as soon as Weapon Hex, if she is the first one to touch the boss, as soon as she touches the world boss, okay, it sets a limit of 100%. Okay, so it is like an empty bottle. As soon as she touches the boss with her fourth skill, it creates an empty bottle which has a maximum capacity of 100%. And now any other striker or Weapon Hex herself, whenever she's attacking, now it fills that 100%. So every time she attacks, 2% gets added up, okay, with all her hits. So she can attack max to max 15, max to max 20 attacks, so that's hardly like 20%. Okay, so out of 100%, she is applying like 20 to 40% of all defense down on the boss. Okay, now if you add Deadpool to the team, so suppose if Weapon Hex is applying her all defense down first and then Deadpool comes down as a striker, okay, and if she uses her third skill which lands 15 or 15% all defense down per hit, okay, so definitely she will be able to fill up that bar or the bottle of 100% all defense down with her 15% per hit, because obviously with 2% per hit it is not possible for Weapon Hex to actually hit the boss in one particular skill for 50 times. Okay, so what does this means? See, so and for Deadpool it takes like 7 skills to just fill up the bar, right? Means 7 hit to fill up the bar. Okay, so that's the difference. So but however, suppose if Deadpool was a striker, because see, both Weapon Hex and Deadpool both are when attacking striker, which means whenever you are attacking the boss, Deadpool or Weapon Hex will appear. Now what happens, suppose if Deadpool hits the boss first with her third skill, so now in this point of time the bottle, okay, the capacity of the bottle becomes 55% only. So even after that, if Weapon Hex attacks the boss with her 100% all defense down, stackable all defense down, it will not apply, because the capacity of the bottle is only 55% at this set by Deadpool himself. Okay, so it's suppose like Deadpool, the capacity has been set to 55%, and if you are pouring in water of, suppose there is a 50 ml of empty bottle, and if you are trying to pour 100 ml of water inside it, will we be able to fit it inside that 50 ml of water bottle? Well, absolutely not. What will happen? It will overflow, it will go for waste, because the maximum limit is set to 55 or 50%. Okay, so do keep that in mind. So initially we have to set the capacity higher. Okay, so how do we do that? Whichever striker, all defense down striker, hits the boss first, okay, they set the capacity, okay, the limit to which we can apply all defense down. Now suppose if Weapon Hex hits the boss first with her fourth skill, now she sets the limit of 100%. Okay, so that's why Weapon Hex is the #1 striker for World Boss Ultimate, because no other strikers has that capability, okay, except for Sabretooth. Okay, but however he is only up to 75%, not 100%. So, and all of them are like on attack strikers, okay, except for now, who is this guy? Captain America with his Hydra Supreme uniform. Now let's check out his fourth skill, okay. So it says he applies 10% of all defense down, which stacks up to 30%, okay. So means with 3 hits he can max out his all defense down. So if suppose Weapon Hex applies her all defense down and she sets the limit to 100%, it will take him only 10 hits to apply that. And as we have seen, Captain America has multiple hits, so he can definitely fill that bar up within 1 to 2 seconds. He can just fill that bar up, guys, okay. And Weapon Hex says all defense down, it lasts for 5 seconds, okay. So it might take Captain America to fill it up within 2 to 3 seconds, so you'll be still having a window of 3 seconds to do damage to the boss, okay. Because when you set the capacity, okay, you also follow the timer of that capacity, for which Weapon Hex it's 5 seconds. However, in case of Captain America, you see the limit is also 5 seconds. However, when we check Deadpool, okay, the time period is 10 seconds, okay. So whoever's applies the all defense down first to the boss, they will set the capacity and also the duration for which the all defense down will be applied. So it is very important, since we don't want to get hit in high level wall boss ultimate from the boss, because it could mean an instant death to certain characters. So we need strikers which can attack the boss and do the needful. So Weapon Hex, so we cannot use Deadpool, because then it will be a gamble whether Weapon Hex will appear first, Deadpool will appear first, or Negasonic, Teen Head, Warhead Muted, or Invisible Woman, okay. So anyone can apply. So in this case, to use the best possible way to use defense down striker in World Boss Ultimate is to use just Weapon Hex, okay, as an on attack striker, okay. So, and the second all defense down striker that we should use is Captain America with his Hydra Supreme uniform, and don't use any other all defense down striker whatsoever. And apart from that, don't use Scarlet Witch in your team for World Boss Ultimate, because on her fourth skill, apart from mind control, she also has all defense down, all right. And she is an on attack striker, which means when you attack the boss, she appears. So she will definitely come out and do her mind control skill, which will again decrease the boss's all defense down and stacks up to 50%. So we don't want her to do that, so we will absolutely avoid her, guys, okay. So which striker shall be used to means to keep the boss in one place? Well, the best striker would be, according to me, would be Rachel Summers, okay, because with her fourth skill she is able to mind control the boss for 5 seconds. And the second best striker would be Dr. Stephen Strange, okay. So as you can see, he can time freeze the boss. So basically, whenever you are doing the World Boss Ultimate, okay, now suppose if I'm picking up this particular team to do World Boss Ultimate, okay, so as soon as you start the fight, you will use Quicksilver. You will use Nick Fury's fifth skill buff, which applies 80% all attack and 20% all defense, etc. Okay, you will use this buff and then shift to Quicksilver and use his skills till his tier 3 skill is available, okay. So once the skill is available, we will switch back to Nick Fury, okay, and then we will try to move around, okay, or use Nick Fury's fourth skill, which is this shield turret, okay. So this will hit the boss. Or suppose if you're not using Nick Fury, if you're using someone else, like Warwolf or Daisy Johnson. Okay, so what will happen, you will try to rotate around the boss, try to avoid being hit. Okay, and once suppose like 3 seconds is left on the cooldown timer for Quicksilver or any other character before they can enter the game again, you are going to hit the boss and wait till weapon hex appears. So as soon as you see a timer on weapon hex as a striker, you will immediately press the co-op skill. Okay, because once first when you see the timer on weapon hex, that means she has set the limit of 100% of all defense down on the world boss, and then as soon as you press the co-op skill, the purple button on the screen, Captain America and weapon hex both will appear and they will apply their all defense down. Since weapon hex has already applied set the limit, so Captain America will just help to fill up that limit of 100%. And suppose if you don't let weapon hex apply the all defense down first, what I mean before pressing the co-op skill, then what will happen, it could be a random chance that either Captain America or weapon hex, either of them might apply their all defense down skill first, we don't know. So in order to avoid that, we have to let weapon hex hit the boss first, and then as soon as you see the timer on weapon hex as a striker, only then we will press the co-op skill, I mean the purple button, and then immediately use either Nick Fury's 5th skill or Warlord's 5th skill, or even Daisy Johnson's skill. I guess it's the 3rd skill. Yeah. Now what does this 3rd skill do? It gives 180% of damage proc for next to attack. Okay, now suppose I'm using someone as a leader and then I switch over to Daisy Johnson. After hitting the purple skill, I switch to Daisy Johnson and then move back to Quicksilver. So what does this means? I can use Quicksilver's 5th skill into his 4th skill, while boss will be having maximum means 100% of all defense round applied to him through both weapon hex and Captain America. So this will do a massive, a bonkers damage. Okay, now suppose if our long forgotten girl Daisy Johnson, so if you have a damage proc, on top of it you will have additional damage proc of 180%, so means you'll be doing almost double the damage. Okay, when your damage proc is activated. Now if we go ahead and check out my Quicksilver, okay, as you can see is only 40,000 physical attack, but these stats are not that important. As you can see, his critical rate, critical damage, ignore defense and skill cooldown are all maxed out. Okay, and obviously all his gears are at 25. His ISO set is overdrive, and surprisingly, as you can see, I just have a normal obelisk on him. It's a 200% damage proc. So if I'm using Daisy Johnson, so this becomes 380% damage proc. Okay, so I know I've said a lot. Okay, this video is going really long. So whatever I have said to you, I'm going to showcase it to you through gameplay, through actual gameplay that we are going to do. So as we know that Cull Obsidian has very high physical defense, so we are going to use our boy Quicksilver on a very high level of Cull Obsidian and showcase you what this strategy can actually do for you. Well, using this strategy, actually I have been able to take out Thanos's world boss stage 40 plus within 10 seconds, guys. You wouldn't even believe that. Okay, so if we use this skill, so I'm going to showcase you through the means of video, through the means of gameplay, how to use this particular strategy. Okay, so just wait, here we go.
I got a bad feeling about this.